EC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, I was looking at a few things in my YouTube feed, and at one point I fell on, again on video cameras and so on. I was thinking, like, how much of us have evolved? By the way, there might be some background noise. Mrs. DC is watching a movie downstairs, an action movie or something, and she has the sound up a little bit loud. But anyway. No, what I was going to chat about actually is that how much of our video cameras have evolved over the years when we started doing, since we started doing YouTube. And I was thinking about myself. I mean, when I started doing YouTube, I was probably oh my goodness, I think it was a Nikon handheld, portable. I'd have to find it. I can't remember what it was called anymore, but it was one of those. It was a 5 megapixel camera, I guess, something like that. And of course, you just had to turn it towards yourself, and just point it to yourself, to get anything half decent. I say half decent. Then I had a Panasonic. No, was it? No, Sanyo. I had a Sanyo, a dedicated digicamera. It was great in many respects. There were certain things that it could do that a lot of the cameras that I had later on couldn't. But it had no vibration. So in other words, it wasn't cropped. Often these things are cropped, like for the vibration or whatever. But so, I mean, if it was on a tripod, I suppose it was great. But it is true that if you look at footage then, where I'm walking with it, man, it's all over. There was no stabilization. And then I went over to, let me see, it was over to Sony for a while. I had two Sony, actually I even have them around here, don't I? One of them's here. These type. And this one actually had, let me see, this one had a 20 megapixel camera on it. It was fantastic. It really, really worked well. And I liked it a lot. I still do. Actually, if I really want to film something for a long time, I might end up using that one as well. I often end up taking more than one. Then I had my different pocket cameras, and I started going towards Canon. And I had my little different pocket cameras, which were not bad. But then got into the real bigger cameras. And yeah, just kind of fell in love with them because, of course, it was a question of how much material do you bring with you if you're going to start making a mixture of pictures. So doing photography, doing video. I mean, you can only bring so much gear, can you? And so the DSLRs were big, but the lenses were really great on the one hand. On the other hand, I mean, you just had all that extra weight. Then I had what I was calling my vlogging cameras, which were simply different different Canons, like the G5 and the G5X, and then eventually I had a camera, I still have it, which I really like as well, was the Canon M6 Mark II, which was my first, in a way, mirrorless. I say in a way because when I was using my DSLRs in what they call the hybrid modes, they were basically like a mirrorless because you were looking directly through the screen. But once you had the mirrorless, it was really the what you see, what you get. But the shorter mirrorless ones had a kind of a lag to it. When you were taking pictures and stuff like that. Now, what do I have? I have two super big, I was going to say super cameras with loads of lenses. It's true. So right now I'm filming on the R5, the Canon R5, and I'm trying actually the 4K HQ mode, which is supposedly an 8K down sampled version. I don't know. Anyway, something like that. I want to see what it is. The other day I did something with 8K just to see. And it is true that the footage is fantastic. You can just like basically crop out a picture frame out of the movie, and you have a really, really good picture. But it was unbelievable. It took most of the day to process the darn thing in the high definition mode on YouTube. So in other words, for almost all day there was the there was the 360 on, the lowest resolution one before it got to it. Oh yeah, and of course I was forgetting. Well, I have this one, which I just my phone, because I keep saying I'm talking about cameras, but of course most of us, and I mean I do it a lot, I end up using my phone or my tablets. I've been using them for years. I mean, I started off with the iPhone 4. Now I'm up to the 13. But just using these, just put it back here. Just using these, I mean, for filming was fantastic, and it still is. I mean, frankly, this phone is worth a lot of the cameras that I've had before. And the thing is, the phone you always have with you, don't you? Or pretty much. So it's like, you know how it is. It's just basically a crazy hobby, isn't it? So let me just grab this thing and see if I can show you one or two things, because since I'm in the office, okay, let me see. Well, yeah, over here, as you can see, there's just kind of like different YouTube stuff that came up. Over there is a quick view of my latest toy, which is my big photo printer. Yeah, so these are like, retirement projects, getting into photography completely as much as I can. Here, just a minute, do that. But you see, this is something like moving things around. I guess, like if you want to start being a real photographer, videographer, I mean, it's things that you can improve on. And I guess that the thing is like, how much do we want to improve? I like to make really nice photos, and I like to vlog. I don't think that I'll ever be making, big movies anymore. I mean, we made some nice projects over the years, with people. But I mean, I think now, mostly it'll be, I'll just keep on vlogging. I don't see why I'd stop that. It's my own diary, isn't it? And take pictures. I love portraits. Some people say, well, how are you for landscape? I'd say, yeah, I'm okay. But I really love portraits. I love people in that respect. And there's this genre of street photography, which is a lot of fun. The problem with street photography, more and more in today's world, though, is that you can't actually put up anybody's picture all the time. I know it's more complicated. Anyway, I think all of us, we've evolved in our way of vlogging, which camera we were at ease in, and so on. I mean, oh yeah, also, after there was a while when I was driving, I had these little action camera type things, but the sound was just so lousy on those things that, and it was just too complicated. Microphones is another thing that we could discuss, I suppose. I've got some wireless microphones, or the Rode microphones, for depending on what you're doing when you're vlogging. That's a lot of fun. But yeah, you know what? As long as it's fun, as long as it's something that we can do, and I really think that actually probably for 99% of us, the phone will be always more than enough. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm up to 10 minutes, and I just want to see what this footage gives. So tell me what you think about it. How have your cameras evolved over the years? DC signing off. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.